Good morning and welcome to episode 23 of Netherwood TV on Friday the 13th of March. I'm Leonard.
And I'm Lauren Clack.
In today's episode we will find out how last week's Loughborough's university trip went.
As well as hearing this week's recommended read.
We will also see who came in to speak to our Year 8 students this week.
And finally, we'll hear some general school news and reminders.
Last Friday, 44 OCR sports students from Year 9, 10 and 11 went on a trip to Loughborough University.
They started their day with the tour of the first class sports facilities at the university and then spent the afternoon doing a practical workshop and a workshop on performance lifestyle.
The trip was really interesting and inspired some of our students to apply for university courses at Loughborough.
Let's take a look at some pictures.
It's time to hear from Miss Capel for this week's recommended read.
So hello Netherwoods, I'm Miss Capel, I'm one of the science teachers at school, and my recommended read for this week is Bill Bryson's Notes from a Small Island. Bill Bryson is one of my favourite authors. He is very smart. He is very funny, he's very sarcastic, and he's a travel writer, so he writes about his travels both in the UK and around Europe and around the world. So, what's it about? The Small Island in particular is Great Britain, so it's a book all about our wonderful country. Bill Bryson is an American author, but he came over to England in the 70s. He met a girl, they got married, and then he lived here for about 20 to 30 years. And in fact, he spent some of that time living in Yorkshire. So the book starts with him remembering his first steps on English soil back in the 70s, but most of it is set more recently when he takes like a farewell tour around the UK before he goes back to the States. I really like it. You can tell it's in quite a few pieces. Ironically, considering it's a book about the UK, it's probably one of my most well-travelled books in my collection. It's literally been around the world many times because I take it with me, stuff it into my backpack when I go on big trips because it reminds me of home, guys. So he writes about different places he's been, different people he encounters. There are some quite funny tales. He observes all those kind of weird, quirky things that make us British, from our kind of place names to our habits to the words that we use to the things that we eat, all from the perspective of an American who's not entirely sure what is kind of going on in this country. But it's really good, it's really funny. There is a bit of history in there, a bit of geography. The history involved is like funny history, so he tends to write about the characters who do not kind of make it into the history books. Sometimes they've done some fairly naughty stuff, so maybe don't read it in school. I really like it, give it a go. If it's not quite for you, because it does start in the 70s and there is quite a lot of factual information in there, then this is my favourite Bill Bryson book. It's called A Walk in the Woods. Give this one a go. He basically goes for a very, very long walk in the American woods and he spends his whole time worrying that he's going to be eaten by a bear. It's great fun.
On Wednesday, our Year 8s were visited by a representative of the James Hudson Taylor Society as part of their ongoing work on the British Empire.
Year 8 are currently studying the reasons for British imperialism in their lessons, so this talk fits in nicely.
The visitor came into school to give a positive and local perspective on spreading Christianity.
James Hudson Taylor was a Christian missionary from Barnsley who made a number of expeditions to China in the 1800s.
While there, he set up a number of schools and is partly responsible for the establishment of Christianity in China.
Now on to some general school news and reminders.
The Key Stage 4 Performing Arts London Residential has been rescheduled for the 16th of May. All pupils who have signed up for this will automatically be transferred onto the new date.
There are still some spaces for this trip available. If you are interested, please see Mr. Utley or Mrs. Oates for a letter.
It is Year 11 Parents' Evening on Thursday the 26th of March, so please make sure you book your appointments using the online booking system.
Year 11 Leavers hoodies are now on sale at break time in the Careers Resources Library.
Hoodies are available in all sizes in navy blue, grey or baby pink and are priced at £17 each.
A reminder that next week is a week A, so remember to look at your week A timetable.
Thank you for watching Netherwood TV. See you next week for the next episode.